Imagine, if you will, in the world of Ashentale, on the continent of Shill, in the lands to the south, there lies a beacon of righteousness. Its brilliance illuminates even the darkest hours, ceaselessly combating corruption and greed. However, deep beneath the earth, an insidious malevolence stirs, drawing the unwavering gaze of fate itself. It slumbers, biding its time until it emerges from the depths with a voracious hunger for light. Yet amidst this impending darkness, the gods of Ashentale remain vigilant, strategically maneuvering their pieces on the cosmic chessboard. Welcome back to Original GM. I am Hupahu, again joined with Cikala, Wachi, and Hawk. Here we are for episode 11, season 2. Last week I forgot to announce what episode we actually were on.
Season 3.
Season 3, sorry.
Season 3.
We going back in time again? Or?
Yeah, no, season 3. Season 3, episode 11, which I'm sure you can see right now. So yeah, anyway, how's it going?
Good.
Yeah.
No, wonderful.
Last week you brought some booty up and a bunch of paladins. No one died.
I wasn't playing with nobody's booty.
Yeah. You brought lots of treasure up. So Kara got a new necklace. Eden has got plate mail and a shield that are magical now. When you guys come up, all of the chests are sitting off to the side. Pindar is here, as well as Kit. When you guys get to the top, you remember that you had also brought up a bag with a book in it. That's sitting off to the side, and then there were your gloves and the metal chest that had whatever it had still on it that the necklace came in.
Ren will put her gloves back on from all that stuff that she had thrown in there that had the oil on them.
Okay.
She clean jinxed it.
All right.
All did, so she's going to put her gloves back on.
Cool. So that's where we'll start. Pindar's smiling, kind of got his arms crossed. He's just got a smirk, and he nods at you as you each come up. He's looking at the chests, and seems you found some holy items, some stolen equipment, as it were.
Phew.
Well done. Well done indeed. So you'll be reporting to me from now on until we decide to take you out of here, because it must stay sealed. And I seem to be the only one that the council wants discussing things with you.
Right.
Since they cannot speak with you while you are here, I must go in and out of the mines. There are some updates, of course, on my end, but it seems that perhaps you should fill me in and allow me the ability to tell the council what is taking place. Yeah?
Ren will speak up. She'll say,
I'm sure you want to leave, but
Ren will say, so...
that will depend on what you discover.
We discovered what we believe to be a cult of the son of Asmodeus.
He raises an eyebrow.
And she'll show him in his head what she saw inside of the Sphinx. As you can see, I did not get a look at his face, the head person.
What else did you discover besides this?
Showing the flowers.
Okay.
The spores.
He's like, slow down. And he kind of looks at everybody. He's like, slow down, slow down.
We didn't get a chance to explore everything.
Not even close.
Gavor steps forward and he says, my report entails that all of them are quite capable and should be able to hold the rank of commander, as well as Eden. They were undetected. Something to do with their low abilities being non-detected, I believe, but I do not know for sure. He's like stepped away from your party and is like reporting to Pendar. And he's like, and I would honestly say that I would give my life for any one of them, and also count on each of them to protect mine. Pendar smiles. He's like, suspected as much. And he goes, on another note, we all have citizenship now, is that not correct? He goes, yes, those of you that do not will now, of course. He's like, excellent. So that will include a burial tomb, am I correct about that? And he's like, yes, of course it will. Within the city. He goes, excellent, well, thank you so much, Lord Pendar. And he turns and looks at you guys and he says, we will no longer keep secrets. I work directly for Elis, and have since the beginning. He and I are the best of friends. He asked me to do this even though I did not want to, but I have judged each of you according to your actions and reported those to him over a period of time. Before I give my next full report, he looks at Pendar, he says, I must discuss a few things with a few of you, because do not feel that it is pertinent that I relay that information on to Elis. It is more of a personal nature for each of you. Pendar goes, is now the time? Because it seems that some of the things you have told me are quite serious, and I will need to go to the council immediately. My orders were to keep you here with further investigation. If that was not possible, to keep you here until I returned from giving my report.
Is that Pendar?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you would like, I can take Gavor with me. Gavor kind of frowns, but he doesn't frown, his face just kind of crinkles and he looks at Pendar. Of course, that is if you feel he cannot be trusted.
I have no reason
Ren,
not to trust him.
Ren would say, I trust him. He didn't have to come clean with us, and he did.
You see him nod very honorably to you when you say that. Each of you, he's like, Pendar does. He goes, the goodness that is within your hearts is sometimes not the brightest thing that there is, but it is times like these that the lowest glowing heart will be seen like a star in this darkness. I fear that each of you has much to offer, more than you feel, and you are more tied to the fate of this very plane itself. The Lord of Cats sends his greetings, and he tells you, each of you that have prayed, and he looks between the ones of you that have prayed, that he hears your prayers. He nods like that. As far as this goes, that it's supposed to be returned to the museum, which I am sure in turn will return it to the temple. However, we must take it to the museum first. That is who you are contracted with. Except for two of you, and he smiles. And you may take your share now if you wish. He looks over at Dahl and Timmy. If you recall, the two of you work for me.
For what?
The two of you, he says, as you recall, the two of you work for me. And you guys all hear this.
Ren looks at Doll and Jimmy. She's like,
Jimmy's like,
what would our fair share be? I wouldn't even know.
I am not even quite sure what it is you have recovered. And he turns and looks at it all. You know, he's like, it seems like it is a bit.
It's a lot,
I have noticed that you have a new necklace. He looks at Kara, and then he looks over at you, and he says, and I like your armor and new shield. So, tell me everything, please, before I leave. You can decide on this here. The rest will be returned back, and we can do it in due time. For the time being, you will require some assistance. I do believe that we can probably get at least a battalion down here. You see the other, like, paladins are like, their eyes get big and they smile. He's just
Seth just says, I hope that's enough.
I will tell you what I know of this myth. I'm not sure if you know, but the son of Asmodeus existing is quite illogical. Unless it is something new. Gavor starts telling him a bunch of stuff, telepathy. He's like, you can tell the two of them are talking.
Let him relay all the information.
Is there?
At that point, Zumbar kind of wanders over to where the wagon's at, and he's like, he starts peeing over behind the wagon.
I'm gonna go over by the chest.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast detect magic,
All right.
and
The witch goes, and she's always doing something.
yeah, well, especially when he's peeing and not paying
Right,
attention.
not paying
to me.
attention.
Tell Timmy, come on, let's go look at this shit.
He does. He comes with you and starts looking. So there's a lot of gold, silver, and platinum items. Like a lot. The heavyweight. You could get, you know,
I can get
you can get rich. Like any one single item that you take
really.
is gonna make you rich. Yeah, it's gonna make you rich. Because especially if you take gold, you're set for life. Like one of those golden candelabras is
Okay.
crazy amounts of money.
Nice. She'll take one of those.
Or you could continue to look through all the chests for like
Actually,
magic.
yeah, because she wants to see if there's any magic items. That's why she did the detect magic. But yeah, that's pretty.
So there are 3 rings in the bottom of one of these chests. One has the symbol of Gold Star, one has the symbol of Goldar, and one of them is gray in color. 3 rings. There's a full plate mail suit of armor that's not magical. Because she left her shit in there, unless she takes it back out and says that's not. I'm just saying, that's what it is.
We don't
There's the
need
book
to
that's in the
church.
bag. There's the book that's in the bag. I gotta mention that. And then the other stuff is like stuff you guys already took, like the potions and the stuff like that you already have, and the orb and scrolls you didn't get because of the explosion.
Right.
She's keeping the orb to give it directly to Elis.
Okay.
Was her plan.
Yeah.
And the stone, they might
And then
have
this-
to use it.
And then the stone, which you have.
So she'll take one of the candelabras, and then she'll pick up the gray ring
Okay.
and walk up to Pindar with the candelabra in one hand and the ring in the other.
Okay.
And she'll say, "Can you tell what this is?" Like, I can tell it's magical, but I don't know what it does.
He looks at it and you see his eyes light up, and his left eye goes like solid white, and you feel the temperature around you change. Your sword starts to glow, icy colored, when this happens. And he just looks at the ring. He's like, "Oh, that is a free action ring.
What does that mean?
You will be able to do more than you normally do, and certain things will not be able to stop you from moving through them, like webbing or
Eve would
dense
say, I have
forest."
one of those. I could show you how to use it.
He smiles. He goes, do you now?
I do. It was a gift from the church for my graduation.
Some would call that twinkish, but you're probably not familiar with that term.
Yeah, she just looks confused.
Congratulations.
Ren will step up. She'll pull out the black cloth that the orb is wrapped in.
Okay.
She'll say, I don't know what this is, but we found this down there as well.
And everybody else will notice his blades glowing ice too, while this is taking place, and Pindar's eyes are changed.
And she'll unwrap it, hold it in her hand with the black cloth in between the orb
Alright.
in her hand.
Say, this was found down there as well.
That's probably glowing too.
He smiles and he looks at you and he goes, that is quite important.
I had a feeling.
I would keep it covered.
Is there anything else magical in there?
What is it?
She'll put it away.
Looking at Doll. Anything else magical in there? I have no way to tell.
There's a couple of rings in there. That's
Is he just ignoring her? She's
He
still
smiles
looking
and
at
kind of
him.
looks down for a minute and then looks back up at you, like with his eyes glowing, one white and the other looks like a cat's eye. And he's like, I'm sorry, what was that?
What is it?
Feel chilly too. As
Yeah.
you're standing there, you're like,
Oh, goodness.
like it's really cold.
What does the orb do? And she's kind of hugging herself.
Oh, it's
from the
something
cold.
that I did not see. And he just looks at you. Yes. I'm sure that you will try to figure out what it is, so I will only tell you that if the council knew that was in your possession, they would want it returned. It is an item that will allow them to ask questions about their own country and get answers. Some say from the gods, others say from other sources. But it is not evil, nor dark in nature. It was in the possession of a high priest
Okay.
named Mitigis.
She know who that is.
Roll your religion.
She doesn't have religion.
Roll your escort then.
Okay.
Yes.
You remember hearing something about Mitigis Mithras, which was a high priest that disappeared. Just disappeared. And never found it.
A high priest of
Gold Star.
Goldstar?
Yeah.
Okay.
They say that his church members were responsible. They thought his church members, prisoners, were responsible, but all of them disappeared as well. And it was a while ago, probably 10 years ago.
Okay. She'll take a step back.
He smiles. He kind of turns and looks over at Kara and looks at her necklace and then looks back at you.
She kinda giggle.
It would seem that several items from that dynasty have been collected, or soon to be returned. I suppose there will be some missing, but that is to be expected.
She'll put that candelabra in her backpack
Okay.
and put the ring on,
Clink, clink.
and she'll tell Tammy to get.
So that gives you an extra free action every round, 1+1 action. But it
Nice.
also, snow doesn't bother you, webbing doesn't bother you,
Nice.
anything that would impede your movement, like a slow spell, doesn't bother you. None of that stuff will affect you.
Is it exactly the same as Eden's?
It is, yeah.
Nice.
Eden will walk up to her.
Be like, darling, that ring is so cool. You have no idea.
It's my first one. I'm so excited.
Does it do the other thing?
Yeah,
The other thing?
yeah. You can just share with her what it does. You can show it to her. It's a
Sweetie,
ring for action,
sweetie,
basically.
that ring will make it to where swords don't hurt you as bad as they normally would. Any type of bladed weapon is half damage.
Half damage versus bladed weapons.
Seth would look at that
Nice.
ring of Gold Star.
Okay.
Show it to Pendar. What's that do?
So you look at it, It has a symbol of Gold Star with the sun and everything, but in the center, there is very intricate elven runes written into a spiral. And you look at it, you're like, what the? And then on that elven runes that are written into the spiral are little tiny pieces of black diamond. You're like, it shines in the light.
Huh.
He's like, that would probably be the High Priest's ring. It looks like it has resurrection stored within it. Yes, the ability to bring back the dead
Kind
is
of
within
car.
that within that ring.
You want Car to have it?
Can you use it if you're not a priest?
Well, I was looking at you, or at Eden.
Oh. Eden would say, you know, I got this armor. If Kara doesn't want it, then
Timmy's
of
like,
course I'll take
That'll
it.
bring
but
the dead back? He kind of walks up. Lots of us would want that, not just Kara.
Could you use it?
I don't know. We could see who could use it and then maybe draw straws or something.
If
Eden will smile.
Pindar goes, well, listen, it should all be according to your skills. Whoever. I will solve your problems right now with treasure from this moment on, if you only listen to a few simple words. Whose hands is the item best in?
he just looks over at Car and says, after what I've seen her do, I think she's going to get it.
Pindar nods. He goes, I cannot answer that question. Only you can answer that amongst yourselves. If it's equal amounts, then you worry about it. Some of us used to use a cost of a Blackmore coin. Yes, the toss of a coin, he says.
Hold on. I'm writing that down.
Blackmore? Yeah.
Black.
He stops and just kind of changes the subject.
Ren will look at
Jimmy and say,
Timmy?
or Timmy.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's alright. He's like, here. Where are you? Who?
Ren.
It's Ren, right?
Yeah,
She's over
she'll-
here, so.
She'll look at Jimmy and she'll say, so I know you don't follow Gold Star, but what about that Gold Star ring? Maybe you could check that out.
Okay. He
Go
walks
look-
over and
go
picks
look
it
at
up.
it and see what it does.
What does it do, Pindar? Turns and looks at it and he's like, interesting. Follows his spirit. Kind of walks away. He walks over to Kara and looks up at her. He's like, what's Goldar's spirit?
She'll tell him.
It's merchants and commerce and capitalism and travel and storytelling.
It's money, honey.
It's funny because she's a merchant, so.
He puts it on.
Get a candelabra too, boo.
Okay. What color?
The gold one.
He grabs the gold one.
It's worth the most.
Currently, that is true. But I'm not sure how long that will last.
We should figure out how to get money for it soon.
Yes, we are looking at a change of wealth in society soon. I believe it'll come on before too long.
I guess Seth will grab one.
Okay.
Ren will telepathy Seth and ask him to grab her one.
Yeah.
Put it in his bag.
Yeah,
Okay.
he'll do that.
All right.
She doesn't carry a backpack.
You guys
Do the thing.
can do the thing. So, some DMs give experience for gold and wealth and things like that. I don't. I never have. I used to. We used to do it, but then it got out of control.
Yeah, especially
Imagine
because
that.
when you don't. Yeah.
So, but it can help you if you're wealthy, and you guys are second level and seem to be independently wealthy, so to say, on a certain level anyway. With this, if you find a way to, you got to find a way to.
Yeah. Well, and that's
Yeah,
okay.
you gotta
So
find.
she was fixing to say to Pindar, you know, I don't really
Well, there is one chest there that is worth more than all of it combined, he says. He walks over to that simple gray chest and opens it up and pulls out the vulcanite rock. This one. That is
Wouldn't know where to sell it.
more than all that you
Ren would
possess.
say, I
Really?
could, I could figure that out. Yeah.
Well, then
No.
He looks down at it and he's like, I imagined you could buy country or an island with that.
He puts his candelabra back.
He walks back over, he's like,
He grabs the vulcanite rock and sticks it back. Or 3.
So you guys start
Do that
putting the
for me
gold
too.
back and grabbing the vulcanite.
Yep.
She
You do
does
that?
not put the gold
She
back.
doesn't put the gold back?
but she will go grab a vulcanite rock. Yeah.
True neutral.
Yep.
I'm putting it
No.
back.
It's in my backpack,
Okay.
bitch. It's mine.
Ren will look at Pandora and say, so...
Of course, you'll need to find somebody, or perhaps you know someone that is a fence that can get rid of such items for you, but that would be illegal if they were stolen, but they do not seem to be stolen, so.
How much is one of these worth?
She'll telepathy. Ren, did you just say that you could do that for us?
I can't.
Awesome.
She has fencing. Yes.
Cool.
And with her
Let's do
connections
that.
with the companions.
She could get anything sold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that as soon as we get home.
He comes back.
Ren will look at Pandora and say, so would you like us to wait here for you while you speak to the council? Or...
Yes, yes. Is there any more you need to tell me? Gavor has told me a lot, so it would seem that there's a green stone that is in your possession.
Yes.
I am not sure if it's wise to take it from this place yet.
That's what I was thinking.
We will figure that out. Just keep it in your possession.
Did
Um,
he tell you about the M?
Yes. Yes.
Which means there's a mage down there.
You see Gavor kind of look over and go like that towards the cage, and you see the body of the imp laying in the cage.
And the crystal and the pond.
Yeah.
And then the other pond. and
Yes,
those
he mentioned that it was
crystals.
connected to the stone in some fashion,
Yeah.
and that there was a strange plant that is a danger still down there.
Yeah.
And all
There was
those little
another-
flowers.
It
And there was
duplicated Seth enough after it bit us.
Yes, that is what he said. Not the same, but
Different green. Eden would say, I'm real concerned about that book. We gotta make sure that doesn't get into the wrong hands. There's something not right about it.
Amen.
We didn't let anybody touch it, so.
he walks over and opens up the bag and reaches in and pulls it out. And looks at it. Yes. This is something I should probably take with me, and he starts walking away, but as he does, the floor goes black where he walks. Like none of the green nature
Pandora?
energy is there as he walks past.
She would say, Pandar,
Yes.
look at the ground when you walk with that book.
He starts walking and he moves it, and it does make, it's like making a reflection on the floor, deadening whatever energy's within it.
She'll pick up the bag and walk it back over to him and hand it to him.
He puts it in there and closes it up. He moves it in the bag, and it doesn't. It still blacks it out.
At least you're not touching it.
Yes.
How much do you trust that the Admiral?
So, I have not filled you in on everything that has taken place. I should probably tell you that the mage has been murdered.
What?
In his cell. He is. They're going to attempt to try to. The warden, Padilla, and the others are so angered by this situation that they're going to try all they can to. If they cannot bring him back, which I don't think is going to be possible, at least ask him questions.
Why would they not be able to bring him back?
Carr pulls the ring off and he. Will this help?
No. Not according to what we know.
Ren would say, why wouldn't they be able to bring him back?
It is the manner in which he was destroyed or killed. There's nothing left.
Car's just nodding.
Oh.
There is no soul, there is no spirit, there is only a husk, and that husk is tainted.
How is such a thing possible?
It was a gray blade, one they call the Gray Razor. We have leads on these minions of Asmodeus, and it would seem that one of them wields that blade.
Seth just standing there looking at Ren.
Yeah, she would have glanced at him.
Someone whose skills are very difficult to deal with. He came into this city. He was able to kill not just that witness, but the captain as well. And the first mate of the ship. All dead. It will, of course, stop any further investigations in that area until new things are discovered. I must return to the council.
We'll be here.
I will notify them on what has taken place. He turns and walks out. He gets to the wall, and this time instead of pulling it down, he just walks through it. Just
And Seth starts
Keeps
setting
going.
up camp.
okay.
Ren will telepathy Seth and say, I know what the face of the guy looks like who wielded that blade.
Me too.
That's the one that
And I
did
owe
that
him
to your
something.
eye.
Yeah, I owe him.
I know Elis told us not to tell anybody about that, but like, I wonder if Pendar knows.
We can tell him.
I don't know. I think we should talk to Elis before we
Okay.
do that.
I'll wait.
But we know what his face looks like.
You do.
In your head, the two of you hear from Gavor. It is important to know that even on the sides that you think you're a part of, that they are perhaps against each other in some manner of speaking at times. Elis does not see eye to eye with Pendar. Pendar does not see eye to eye with Elis. But they are on the same side. Much like I would assume Goldstar and this Glistinian or Cat Lord is. At worst, frenemies. At best, following the same direction.
Well, I mean, even as a group, we don't always agree on everything, but
He read your mind,
He did.
or heard your telepathy.
She's just looking at him like a little.
So, like, he's released some information to you. He's starting to trust you. You can see he's telling you he can do this by answering the question openly. He's busting himself.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So what you're saying is we shouldn't tell him.
he looks at you and he goes,
I'm glad I listened to my intuition. Just smile.
he smiles. Kind of weird, and you see these razor sharp, hard, diamond looking teeth. He's like, and then he closes them. He goes, I'm sorry, was that? Because it's like, you know. He goes, I'm sorry, that wasn't smiling for you. That was menacing, wasn't it? I'm trying. You can go like that. Just stick his lips real tight and try to smile. I'm not sure how you humans do it. Timmy's walking up. He's
It
like,
comes from back here, not here.
oh,
It's these muscles.
from the ears.
Kinda.
You don't have those. He turns like that. You can see a slit and a little muscle thing that's part of the skull, and then a little horn that goes way up, but they're not ears.
Oh.
Ears. We were all born different.
Yeah.
I gained other things. So, we are being candid, and I am telling you all that I am assuming, according to my calculations, that I have exactly 5 years to live. So, knowing that, my friendship will be to the fullest with my compatriots. Does that? Nods. Basically, let's have a good time. And may
Well,
Gold
what you
Star
wanna do, live forever?
bless you all. Yes, yes, of course. But now that we have a plot forming and that stress has disappeared, my father would be proud.
I think your father would be proud of you anyway.
Thank you, my friend.
She laughs out loud.
Somebody's like, so, we let you stay?
No.
You scared. You all scared. Somebody not scared.
We're not scared, Zumbar. We just know that we may not have the manpower to defeat all of them by ourselves.
Him scared. He points over at Gavor. And Gavor goes,
Well,
perhaps.
we all have
It
our
is possible.
strengths. You know, you and me, we have brawn. You know, strength.
Mm.
He has more brains. He's smarter.
Mm.
We all have our strengths.
It's smart, just sit, do nothing. Gavor kind of raises an eyebrow. He's like, well, not exactly, but we must await Pindar. Am I right, Seth? He looks over at Seth.
While we're waiting, we need to work out a plan.
Oh, smart. And he points over at Seth. See Gavor like,
She's the smart one pointing her in. You're smarter than I am.
Timmy kind of bumps Eden as they're talking. Like, you turn,
You look at him.
do you poop? He whispers it to you.
Ginger out the nose is not
You
fun.
poop.
How long has he been waiting to get her by herself?
Do I?
No, I mean, you have no working it.
She'll look at him
You,
and she'll
with,
go.
you know,
She'll go.
Timmy, no, it comes out his lap.
he smiles and looks at you and goes, I knew it. Dog, you hear Timmy go, I knew it. And then he goes,
Ian's looking down at him.
he kind of goes like that and covers his mouth.
She farts light.
The captain, the captain orders them to start moving the cargo to the wagon, and they do so after everybody's chosen something. As they go by, Zumbar looks at it all and he looks at you guys and he's like, me take nothing.
We don't have to.
Me destroy something. What was it? He looks around like he can't remember.
You destroyed a flower.
Oh.
Ren will look at him. I just realized she has both the things he was supposed to destroy. She'll look at him and say,
You can take any of that stuff that's in those boxes if you want any of it. It's worth money.
To buy ale
Okay.
and food.
Alright. Which one? Timmy goes, go get one of those black rocks and go get one of those gold things over there. And he goes and gets a fire poker is the gold thing he picks. Which is probably the least expensive, out of all of them. But he grabs that. And he goes, he swings it a couple times and laughs. Flimsy.
It's not for fighting.
No?
No. It's to
We'll
poke.
sell it.
Yeah,
from
we'll sell it. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
We'll sell it.
He looks at the vulcanite stone like a rock and he's like,
Yeah. They'll be fooled. That's worth more money than you could imagine.
okay.
Okay.
Puts it in his bag.
How many stones are in that box?
So you've taken 3 and everybody else took 1. And it's still half full.
So I'll take actually, I took 6, 3 for her and 3 for me. But I'll go ahead and grab 2 more for each of us,
Okay.
just to make sure that I gotta round it out.
All right. So,
That way, I got 5 for each of us.
all right. So, how many are you carrying on you total?
10.
Okay. In the same bag? Okay, different bags.
Yeah. 5 in this bag and 5
Okay.
in this bag.
All right. So you were told Vulcanite causes spells to be 10 times more powerful.
Yeah.
Just, I'm telling you, it might be like
Ren
walking
would
around.
telepathy in his head and say, I don't know if it's a good idea that we carry that much of it anyway on
Well, I can
us."
leave it with my camping gear.
There you go.
Yeah, I
Because
can
if
do
somebody casts a spell near you, it could be explosive.
Oh.
Gavor
So yeah,
says.
he takes a
Gavor
No,
says.
she'll.
Gavor says in your. That would be an excellent tool to destroy an enemy.
Oh.
And he goes and gets one and hands it to Kara.
Okay.
Keep
Does that
this with
work?
you. She just looks
Can
at
we
it like,
say all that was out loud?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that everybody
Does it
knows?
work if
Yeah.
it's just in my backpack? Or do I have to hold it?
Well, it's.
Well, if any magic hits it, so when you're casting with it, it has to be in your hand, or the magic has to pass through it, or something.
Ren would say to Doll, it can be used, like with components. I know that. I'm not a caster, so I've never done it. I don't know what the implications of doing such a thing are, but I did study it.
If you have Vulcanite, you do not need component for the spell that you're casting. That's another bonus thing about Vulcanite. No matter what the component is, you don't need it. The Vulcanite does it.
Really?
Yeah. Powerful stuff.
We should go back over there and look for a smaller, like the smallest.
They're all exactly the same size, and
Okay.
they look like a bunch of bocce balls. They look like a.
She will go get another one.
They're like cannonball size.
She'll get another one. She'll be like, I'm gonna keep this one for cats.
So they're each about 5 pounds.
Okay. That means she is at her weight capacity.
I'm
Okay.
super curious.
And so you would have 50 pounds extra. Can you carry that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Ren would say, I'm super curious what Pendar's gonna come back and say. What they're gonna tell us to do.
Timmy's like, I don't know, man, but Doll and I really like him. He's a cool guy.
Pendar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doll can tell you what kind of guy he is.
Yeah. Yeah. He's taking care of me. Before I went to the conversion school and after. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't because of him.
Yeah. And he gave her a cat
Ren would say, I'm
And a
grateful to him
house.
for that.
and a house. He gave us a house too, the Roost.
You know,
He's a good guy.
I think he's a good guy. I agree with you guys, but she'll kind of glance at Gavor. Everybody's intentions may not be aligned when it comes to Pendar and the council. That's what I'm curious about, is where everybody's loyalties lie, because everybody has their own intentions and their own things they want to accomplish, including Pendar. I'm just curious what those are.
I understand.
You see Timmy kind of frown a little bit when you say that. He's like,
Not that he's a bad guy, but he has his own goals, I'm sure.
right. No, the other part about the council and him not.
Well, I don't know that for sure, but
Makes sense, though. I mean, we don't always trust you. People don't always trust each other, he says. He looks mainly at Eden when he says that. Some of you guys, think things are different than other of us, that's all. And we're just probably stupid and young. He looks at Doll. But this cat lore guy, he sounds cool.
doesn't he though?
And you
Right.
guys are cats. You're a cat, right? So are you, right? Right?
Yeah.
Does that mean you have like cat blood? Doll,
What?
are they just like familiars?
No.
No.
Whiskers is not a person. Whiskers is an animal. And I've never met. Well,
Must be
you and I
hungry.
have been together for 10 years. We've never met a person that turns into a cat.
What'd you say, Zumba?
Oh, hungry. This is not right. I can't. No make sense. I can't hear what talking about. Sound like make no sense. I must be hungry. He looks over and you see a paladin go here, and he hands him some food.
Car starts to cook.
Oh yeah. It's because Cesbro camp, so you have tents and
Yeah.
things of that nature, and you're setting up camp. All right.
Might as well.
Okay. Sounds good.
And since she's a damn good cook.
Ren would say to the group as we're all standing there after Jimmy said that, and if you guys could keep the fact that we are cats to yourselves, keep it within this group, I would really, really appreciate that. And she'll kind of look at each person.
Your secret is safe with me.
There you go. Makeshift camp. Yeah. Gavor will say, so we wait, and he goes over and sits down. Car's gonna go cook.
She won't do a 10-course meal or nothing.
Okay. Soup.
Maybe a little bit more than that, but
Okay.
soup and sandwiches help.
Yeah. All right. So there's pulling out food.
Yeah.
Um,
That's where most of her weight is anyway.
yeah. So
I'm curious.
the fire that you start to cook with, where it's touching the stone or close to the stone, it goes black. You just noticed it.
Dollar's gonna walk up to the edge of the tent where Gavor is standing. And she's gonna say, I just wanna see like how much this is gonna amplify the spell. I'm just
How
curious.
did you start that fire? That's right.
Flint and steel.
Clean jeans with the vulcanite ingredient.
Can Ren stand close enough to her that that hits her too?
No worry. You feel a spell go off and hit the walls of this place, the ceiling, the river as it's passing by you. The inside of the wall force. Every tent pole, the piss that was over by the wagon, all the dirt that's on it just pristines this whole area and everybody in it. The paladin's armor all goes sing and it shines, and I mean it fucking wing wing. You hear the ringing as it goes passing through the
Raise
paladins.
morale for the paladins.
It seems to raise morale for
Look at Ren
everybody.
Smile really big. And she'll be like,
And as you're touching it and that happens, your fingers go in on it.
what the fuck?
And dust falls that's like gray, and as it falls before it hits the ground, it just disappears completely, and you're left with the smaller piece.
With my fingerprints in it now.
With your fingerprints in it.
Nice. I can hang on to it a little better.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's like, what the hell just happened?
It's just testing how. Just testing the vulcanite as a component to see how much it would amplify.
Kit walks over and she goes, "Now I don't have to turn my panties inside out." She smiles.
Anytime.
Can I have some food?
Anytime.
You guys, I hate to ask. You know how hard it's been for me.
You go right on ahead.
Woohoo! And she runs and
You
skips
take
over to the
anything you
treasure.
want.
And she grabs a golden candelabra and just hugs it and is like, she starts crying.
And food's for everybody.
And she comes over to eat and she's just fraternizing with all, she's even making fun of the paladin. She's like, hey boys, no one told you had to stay there all day. Why don't you come eat too? Especially you with the cheeks. And she winks at him and he's like, just come on over. I'll drink some brandy with you. She says, you got brandy? Or anything. You got any alcohol? Cooking wine?
Who's she asking, man?
No, Kara.
Not
The
really.
cook. She says, Kara.
When she says that to the paladin, Eden will look at the captain and nod like they can.
Captain tells him to go on. So they do. They kind of come over. And the one with the cheek smiles at her and walks right up to her. And he's like, so are you going to make me some food? And she's like, boy, you're a quick one. You're a quick one. Pats his thigh. And then the last time she pats it, she squeezes it. And he kind of giggles and moves his leg a little bit. And she goes to get him some food. Carrying her candelabra in her bag. You can see it sticking out behind her. She's bouncing over there.
Kara does it, but Seth does.
Okay.
And he'll share it.
Seth brings out the booze. You're her best friend right now.
I thought the
No, you are.
paladin was.
Well, no, the paladin's more than a friend. You are her best friend, though. She's friend zoning you quickly over the paladin for sure. He's got nice buns.
Buns like muffin tins.
Steel buns of steel. Yeah. So and so she ends up dancing with some of them, and she pits them against one another, and they all just have a great time. They don't get pitted against each other. They've had elite training, and they're just all kind of making fun of her a little bit, like playing with her, making fun of her with her a little bit, because she's egging it on.
Hopefully, the camaraderie and joy will raise.
If it gets to be too much, one of them steps in and smiles and does a dance with her and twirls her and then takes her to another location or something, So if the guys start making too much fun, and then they all, instead of them all like, you dumbass, they're all like, oh, yeah.
And Kara will sing.
Give a music to dance.
It's a
to.
good time. You guys have a good time. An hour and a half goes by. Right when you're really starting to kick it. You've already cooked, so you're over here with everybody. You're eating or whatever. And Pendar comes back and walks through the wall. My. I guess,
Break time?
Red would say and smile at him.
yeah, I guess it was your break time, huh? I don't know. Speaking of break time, we're going to be right back. And we're back. Okay. As you guys are partying on, Garth.
We're not partying, we're raising morale.
Yeah, raising morale. You see Pindar and 4 others come walking this way, and as they walk, you recognize each one of them. This is Maria Greenvine. She is a council member, druid.
Druid would be helpful.
Yeah.
She's probably not feeling so good down here.
Bloodthorn, pockmarked face, Elis, and his brother. Lassar, Hookleaf, and then Admiral Rickson.
Right. Kara's like, oh,
They come walking in. And Pendar.
Okay.
Purple is Pendar. The soldiers go at attention, and he says at ease. The Admiral does. He's like, at ease. And they all go back to what they're doing. And Edith kind of pushes through past Pendar. Pendar's like, greetings, my friends. And Edith kind of pushes past and comes towards you. Comes right up to Ren. Let me see it. The stone.
Reach in her pocket and grab it.
He takes it, walks it over to the druid that's over here, and hands it to her. The Admiral kind of stands back and watches what's going on. Hookleaf is kind of looking over his shoulder at you guys. This guy, when he goes to hand it to her, he kind of looks at him for a second, like protective, but then he passes it and she takes it. He's standing behind her. Pendar says we will know something shortly. Let her do her work. He kind of looks over and he's like, I could eat something, yes.
He just looks over at Car, and Car serves him some food.
Okay, he'll come over there as that's going on. You see them talking back and forth over here.
Yeah.
He's like, well, tell me what you do know. And
Your
she's
nose?
like, give me a moment. You can hear them. They're
Okay.
louder now. He's like, give me a moment. Give me a fucking moment, Elis. And Hookleaf goes, it seems that you all have found something that could threaten the very existence of our capital city and wonderment of bright golden light. The Grand Inquisitor wanted to come himself, but we could not allow him to be brought down here.
To Ren, Seth's in her head, he's like, who's the Grand Inquisitor?
That would be Edenstad.
Oh, ooh. He kind of glances over at Eden and like,
Commander?
So, you got us, he says, and he holds his hands up like this. So, you got us. Then he kind of bows.
Eaton kind of sideways glances at Doll when she says that, like, because you're talking about her dad. It's just like,
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, and Zumbar...
you just get kind of side.
Zumbar's kind of standing between you, so you have to kind of look around Zumbar, like, to see her, you know? You see Gabor raises an eyebrow, and he's like... He does that. Timmy's eating, and he's actually kind of skulked back behind this tent and sat down behind some stuff that's laying there. He can still be seen, but he's just back away a little bit while he's eating.
Ren would have eaten in that in-between time.
Okay.
Like, before they all got here, she would have eaten.
Okay. What about Eden?
Yeah.
She eats with them? Okay.
She'll have to shoot out some light later, but no worries.
Seth's eating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ren will come back over here after Elis comes there or whatever. Hookleaf just kind of comes over and starts talking to Kit. And Kit's like, well, hello there. And he's like, hi, how are you? And she's like, well, I'm doing a lot better now. And he goes, oh, yeah? You like what you see, but are you tall enough for the ride? And he kind of looks at her, and she's like, well, I'm not really short. And he goes, you're not? She's like, no, I'm concentrated. And she winks at him. He's like, so, what did you do up here? And he starts talking to the paladins as well with her. They just kind of, they hand him a drink, and he starts drinking. The Admiral, he comes over to you.
She didn't know she trusted this guy.
Ambassador,
Admiral?
so we have gotten the reports of what's going on down here, and I must say that we're quite impressed with the endeavors that you have put forth, and we do believe that it is you that is keeping things unseen, but we do not know for sure. Recently we have learned that things of your kind can do such feats. Back behind him, the guy that's guarding the druid, the keeper of the old faith, which you guys don't know, is looking over at you as he's saying this. He's just kind of like, and he nods at you. So, I was a-thinking that perhaps we could bring a little more firepower down here, as long as you're present.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to put forth before the council. They seem to think that those with great power are going to draw attention, and that there'll be some sort of cover-up and we won't be able to figure out the answers. Sounds like to me that there's a god-forsaken cult beneath Queensland that must be dealt with and snuffed as soon as possible.
I agree, that's exactly what I saw.
He hands out this platinum bar with one arm. He's like,
Take it from me.
you'll need both hands. You're like, this is payment from the families for the dwarves' bodies that were returned. They wanted to thank each of you. That is for you all. We dwarves do not forget.
Thank you.
He nods.
She'll kind of turn and look for Seth.
And if you have any use of our skills within our forges, just let us know.
He's only a couple feet away from you.
She'll hand it to him because it's so heavy.
You gonna hand it to Seth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you walk over and take it?
Thank
Yeah,
you
he'll
very
put it with the
She'll say,
vulcanite.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Admiral.
You're quite welcome. You put it with the vulcanite?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is that way he's not carrying it?
A few moments later, Elis comes over to you guys.
Food?
Hey guys, yeah, he just kind of waves on through and smiles at you guys, and he goes, give me some of that. What you got there?
By the way, she rolled a 2 for her.
Okay. So it's good. Everybody's enjoying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He goes right in the middle of you all, and didn't really act like anything's wrong.
She
You
tries
see
to act
her.
normal.
You see her kind of pacing around over here, around him, and she kind of stops for a second and leans down and touches the stone to the floor, and it lights up. And she looks at it and goes, and nods and pulls it back. The Admiral says, so, we just wanted to come and tell you what kind of a job you was doing was appreciated.
How do we get rid of that cult?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we cut them down one by one, if that's what it takes.
Works for
Or
me.
we burn them all out. I could suggest that, but I don't think the council will go with it. We need...
They're
They
talking
need...
back and forth, so she's gonna kind of step back out from in between them towards
Okay.
the north.
They need answers, he says. Okay, you step out.
Not like walk away, but
Right.
not literally walk away, but step back so she's not in between both of them talking.
Yeah.
Etiquette.
So... Hookleaf has made it to, like, right here. Talking to the paladins, shaking all their hands and everything. He kind of ends up, like, over here. By Kara. And across from Dahl and Gavor. When he gets his food, he goes this way. And kind of comes, like, to right here. So you went to the north, so when the reason I say that is because he does that, and then he does that, and you start walking that way, you're going to run into him. You're going to be like, right there, and he just nods at you, and he's eating. He's like, hey, didn't tell me Kara was a cook.
Yeah, she's really good, isn't she?
She is a lot better than our cook when we were younger. I can tell you that.
I guess we got lucky.
There's a halfling that thought bugs smashed up and grinded into bits made spices or something. It was horrible. You don't want to know all the details. It was a crazy time. And you might happen to know that halfling.
Oh,
He
she
smiles.
Lord.
Just between us. I think he still eats bugs.
So does Seth.
Kara hands him a plate and he starts eating. Hookleaf starts eating too. And he's like, so Catkind, the religion of Gold Star are in cahoots. That's pretty cool. Council, we're with them, I guess. I'm just wondering if they're still going to have the fashion show this year, because last year's party was over the top. Over the top.
What do you mean?
Oh, people from all over the place came. The intrigue, the political intrigue, the capitalism, all of it was just a reflection of society's endeavor to become something that they're not. It's like a play, like a show. Open curtains, act one. I'm being facetious if you didn't catch on.
I understand.
Who was saying that?
Hookleaf.
Oh,
Lassar Hookleaf, he's a council member. And also brother to Elis, evidently, is what
Right.
rumor has it. So
Kara's just like, I don't think.
he's the one who's the statue
Yeah. Okay.
is made after. If I zoom in, you'll see his face. He's got that two colored eyes. Anyway,
Kara's like, I don't think my clothes are fancy enough for that kind of display.
oh dear, you'd probably start a trend. They're always looking for new stuff. They either accept you or they don't. It's, you know, that's their way. What can you do for them? For the most part, even, you know, well,
You know, Seth.
I'm sorry, brother, he says to him. Even people who delve into spy bullshit, they always have their own agendas, right? And you see Elis kind of look at him
Red
and
glances
frown.
over when he starts talking.
And he goes, yeah. It's time for a little chaos, in my opinion. Takes another spoon bite of whatever Car made him. Car, he's right in front of you, like right next to you. Gavor is like, you can tell he's troubled by what he's saying.
Aiden too, she's like kind of tense, you know?
Uh-huh.
She's across from him over where Seth is. Timmy's like, oh yeah? So, you know, who's going to do something about it? Who's going to change that kind of stuff? That can't be changed, right? Like that school, that stupid school, it can't be changed, can it? And he's like, well, I've always believed that you get enough people together, enough voices, you can get people to hear you. And if not, put a banana in the path. I mean, hope that nobody kills themselves with it, obviously.
Seth says, you know, it starts with one voice.
That it does. That it does. It adds up to a lot over a long period of time. Even as a council member, I've learned that there's many voices in the 11 other idiots that sit at the table. Anyway, whatever's going on here is just a reflection of the bullshit that hasn't been dealt with prior up to this point. That's what it is. And I'm sorry that you all might have to clean up that mess.
Seth's like, I don't mind.
Good.
So far,
That's the kind of attitude that the government's looking for, my friend.
Even say it would be my honor to clean up this cult in the name of Gold Star.
He walks this way. He looks agitated by all that. Like, he doesn't look like he's... You're questioning whether or not he can be trusted now by what he said. Like, he might be the one. And he walks past this way over by his brother. Starts talking to his brother.
Ren is closely watching his body language
Okay.
with her companion skills.
Roll it.
Yes. Yep. You want to know what I rolled?
Yeah.
5 out of 18.
So he seems to be putting on an act to you.
Okay.
Like,
Trying to lead them astray.
something to either lead you astray, or make you believe he's an enemy, or make someone else believe he's an enemy, or that he, you know.
Got
it's-
you. Noted. She'll tell them later.
He walks over to where all the wealth is too, and just looks at the chest, starts looking at him, shaking his head. As you're standing there and you're talking to him, his brother comes by, you know, and he just pats him on the shoulder and then looks at you and winks at you with one of his eyes and walks over to where the chests are. Just don't mind him. He's just been a little bit chaotic lately, that's all.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
He's a little aggressive. She'll gonna smile.
It can seem like that at times. The dwarf walks right up kind of next to you and he goes, excuse me, Ambassador. When you left, I wasn't able to thank you for what you have done for the city.
Of course.
I tell you, love, being on land is a lot like being on a ship. You just have to know where everybody's working, who's working with who. It's important to keep your eye on that sort of thing. Edith is like, yeah, I think she's quite aware of that. She does have training, as we both quite well know, and she is more than capable, I'm sure. And he looks at her and goes, I know you are, lass. I know you are.
I appreciate
You're
that
keeping
he
one eye
says-
open, aren't you?
Always.
Yeah. When you want to know the truth of it all, just look hard. You'll see the truth. It's staring you right in the face.
Can she hear this? Can Valar hear it from where she's at?
So you're within 20 feet.
That last comment, does it seem like he's trying to intimidate her? That
No.
whole truth is staring
No.
you right in the face thing?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. Maybe hinting at something, but not.
Right, for sure.
So you're not within range unless you roll an 05. Your cat, however, as you're watching and looking, you see this paladin right here feeding your cat. He's knelt down and he's feeding your cat some of his food. And your cat's right there. Your cat could hear it. So, yeah, you hear it.
Carter's gonna take a plate to the other two that haven't eaten.
Okay.
I'm gonna check him out with observation.
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so.
Is that a
this
-2 unless you have it?
Well, she has it +2.
Okay,
So it's just
cool.
a base roll.
Yeah, so be a base roll. All right, Kara, you come up. As you come up, she's got a worried look on her face, and then she straightens her face out and just kind of looks at you and
Carter
smiles.
smiles really nice and hands each of them a plate. And don't mean to interrupt. And she just backs away.
Okay. He takes both plates
Okay.
from Kara, and hands her hers, and she takes it. She goes, "Thank you so much. It's been a while since we had something to eat." So, what did you bring her?
Well, it's a plate of the food she made. I can't tell you.
What was it again? It was soup and
Soup and sandwiches.
sandwiches, right?
Right.
Okay. Any meat in the soup?
No.
Okay. All right.
She's vegetarian.
Yeah.
Druid.
She is,
Yeah.
and she eats that and likes it. And, yeah. Anyway, you go back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're pretty much out of food now. That was the
Oh, yeah.
last of it.
And she'll start cleaning the.
Cleaning stuff up.
Yep.
Okay.
So my observation.
Timmy starts helping you wash it.
Okay.
What?
New system, so I'm gonna ask.
Okay.
My observation is a 22.
Okay.
I rolled a 20.
So you failed. 20 will fail.
Always.
Yep.
So
If there's negatives, that 22 will help. But so yeah, you what were you looking at again? You were looking at
the door.
try to make an
Right there.
observation of him. You don't see anything. He just looks like a wealthy, somewhat military man. Older, beard's graying. He looks thick. It's the best word to describe him. He looks like he's telling the truth when you see him from the distance. And you hear all that, you don't know. I mean, you know. Sorry, kiddo. Talking to doll. Sorry. Pendar starts talking to Gavor about some of the stuff that you saw down there. Dwarf leaves. By himself, he leaves. He goes past her and just glares at her and goes... just walks past her, and she nods at him, and the other guy puts himself between the two of them. And... yeah.
Oh goodness, that's some drama.
They come up to the two of you. Hookleaf comes around to here.
When the dwarf leaves, Kara visibly relaxes.
Okay.
She keeps cleaning, but
Right. Timmy's like, you alright, man?
no.
Hey. Between us. Can't tell anybody. Eden doesn't poop.
I know.
Okay.
She farts light.
Yeah.
He's gonna be thinking about that for
Forever.
days.
Forever, yep, you got him. You got him.
Um,
And it's pretty funny to watch.
Dunbar is trying to talk to the paladins as he's eating, and the paladins seem to be having a more in-depth theological discussion than he's capable of having. So he ends up just kind of standing there watching them and listening to them. And as he does, Kate comes up and starts talking to him. And he smiles at her, and they start talking. After a few minutes, after the two of them eat, Elis and Hookleaf. Elis looks at you and then at the red, he looks at you and he smiles. He says, "We must go now." Doggone it.
So what would you like us to do?
Well, I believe that we believe that you're the one that is enabling this to take place without being seen or divinated upon. They can't prepare against you. That's what we believe. Right? He looks at everybody in the circle and they all nod and look at you like they all know. They just look at you and they're like, yes. So no matter what happens, you'll be involved. He smiles at you.
Okay.
And I'm sure that means your brother will tag along and
Of course.
whatever happens from there as well.
So the Admiral had mentioned sending more troops down here?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, but you're to stay here, okay?
Okay.
He smiles at you.
Just smile at him.
Did you get enough information? He looks at the druid and she says, yes, there's dark druidic magic being used beneath our great city. Vile darkness pulled from nature itself. She holds out the stone to you and she's like, I cannot take this with me.
Take it from her. Put it
Be
in my
careful
bag.
with that. I would not use it.
I'm not going to.
Dahlia will walk over and pull that vial of the sample vial of water out
Okay,
and
walk over here.
yeah. And hand it.
She automatically turns and accepts you in this circle. When you come walking up, you see her body language shift and give you a hole. And you're like, it's your companion training.
It just automatically
Yeah,
does it.
yeah, diplomatic. It's, yeah. And you come in and kind of stand right there anyway with the vial. What do you do?
Hand it to the druid.
She looks at the guy next to her who reaches out for it, and he's like,
I collected this for some tainted water where there was a crystal. The crystal and the water and the lily pads all seem to be tainted in some way with that weird magical energy.
Every time the stone gets close to that stone, it pulsates as one.
if this stone is taken too far away from this location, there will be a catastrophic explosion within the mines of Queensland down in the void. That which you entered. This cannot leave this mind. You must stay. I do believe that the presence of divinity stones here within Queensland is snuffing some of this energy out. But as we know, many of the divinity stones have been being stolen and taken from the city. That will weaken and lessen the distance that this stone can go from its source.
I see.
And I believe that source is the stone that you encountered.
I see.
As long as the two of these stones are present in the fashion that they are, monsters of the earth and winged ones crawled ones, crawling ones, growing ones, all of them will be able to take a hold, but with an energy that us druids call umbrage, or the umber. There's a darkness that druidic magic is not allowed to creep into. It will defile anything it touches. That stone is attached to that magic and that energy. If you are to use it, it will change you. If anyone is to use it.
Change you how?
The more you use it, the more evil you will become. Pindar kind of walks up and he's like, has anyone used this stone? He's eating, but
Yes.
She's not gonna know if there's a chance.
who says
You go,
yes?
Ren.
Rin. Okay, she's like, yes.
Yes.
Who? He turns and looks at Seth.
Seth's watching Kara wash dishes.
Okay. He is not evil.
He only used it once.
Mm.
Is he still good? Because he used to be.
He is not. He is without alignment currently.
Can that be healed?
By someone much more powerful than me. And his willingness. Eden, you hear this. You're standing right next to him. Seth, if you're zoning out watching Kara, then you don't hear it. But if you're not, you do.
He just kind of looks over his shoulder at both of them and what?
I believe they're saying, as he walks up, that because you used this stone, it altered your mind in a different way. And that there's a way to heal it, but Pindar cannot heal it. It would take someone of greater power. Pindar says the high priest with their ability to do so. The proper spells.
Hmm.
You could atone for your sins, as it were. Come before Gold Star. Or to another deity, asking the Cat Lord for forgiveness, and atonement can sometimes work as well.
I tried that earlier with a prayer and I got nothing.
Your prayer was heard, maybe your prayer was not given because it is not his will. As a paladin, I say that. Timmy helps you guys finally clean up. Paladins are all sitting in groups, relaxing. And Elis and them will turn and tell you that they will be back hopefully by morning. Yeah?
Okay.
May Gold Star protect you.
And you as well. Pindar goes with them.
Once they leave, Ren's gonna turn, make sure that they're through the. Do they walk out of the?
Yeah, they
thing?
walk out, and they all walk through it like they made it, all of them.
Ren will turn and look at the group and say,
Guys, Hookleaf, when he was here, was trying to, from what I could tell, put on a show to make it seem like there was something up with him or he was untrustworthy.
I saw
I know
that.
that sounds weird,
I saw it, Timmy says.
but I saw it.
She's right. He was like trying to be bad. He didn't trust somebody here. He thinks somebody here is behind this. That's what I think.
Ren will look at Gabor. Do you know who?
Who is behind this?
No, who he thinks it is.
Hookleaf?
Mm-hmm.
I am not sure. But I could deduct that it is either his brother, the druid, Lord Bloodthorn, or Admiral Brixer. It is one of them.
If you want my vote, it's Admiral Briggs.
The dwarf did seem very helpful, though, did he not?
He did, but I know that giving us a bar of platinum like that could be used as a bribe to throw us off.
And he was acting weird. He repeated himself to Ren.
He did.
Like so he could get close to her.
He didn't touch you, did he?
Did he? She'll check herself. Is everything still there?
Yeah?
Is there anything new?
No?
Weird.
Doll, she's in front of you, you know, like spinning around, looking at herself.
Oh, look here with observation.
You don't see anything. She doesn't see anything either. Kid goes, I think there's more going on here than I understand, and it's kind of a buzzkill, so I think I'm going to sit over here. She
I've
wanders over
wondered
here.
to myself if any of this is like a test. Ren would say. I know that sounds weird. And
I
could be
assure you,
wrong, but
this is not a test. I know it might perhaps seem that way, but it is not often that the council members deem themselves the tip of the spear, so to say. It is easier to learn what happens prior to using one's skills, even when you are as talented as many of them are. Not to mention that you are all very unique. And the powers that you possess, he looks at Ren, seem to protect us all from being seen, or from even sending messages out at times.
yeah.
Your very presence can stop prayer, is that not true?
She would nod. Yeah. I was told that not even Goldstar can hear me. She kind of looks down. So. Nothing I can really do to stop that. It's
Is
not
there-
like it's something I'm doing on purpose. And she would look right at Kara
Is there
if
a
she's
range?
looking at her. I don't know.
Or just looks at her with a smile.
I've never tested it.
Timmy's like, well,
I'm
it might
sure
be
there is.
it might be a good thing that is the way it is.
For sure.
It's probably,
It's part of what's keeping us safe.
yeah, I bet so.
You can put Car up there.
Staying together as a group is really important.
Yeah.
Not splitting up.
Well, we wait, I suppose. Should we get some rest?
I think we should. We all need it.
They load up the chests.
Eden will walk up to the captain and say, I know your men are tired, probably. Should we take shifts? Have them do shifts to keep watch while we all rest?
I will take care of watch.
Alright,
No worries, you all sleep.
thank you.
You what?
I meditated. I don't have to sleep. I forgot we had backup.
Well, Gavor says I require no more rest currently. And I do not know if any of you do, but
Ren would say I need to sleep.
How long has it been since we meditated? Like an hour and a half?
yeah,
Okay.
not very long.
Are those tents to sleep in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
The paladins all seem like they probably need to sleep, and they're relaxed and everything. The captain goes over and starts ordering them into shifts, 3 shifts.
okay.
I'll walk up to the captain
Okay,
and tell him that I can help. I don't need to rest.
very well. Yeah, that will be welcomed.
Ren and Eden will both go pick a tent and rest.
Okay. Same tent?
No.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're gonna put her in the red tent.
Yeah.
It's red light district.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Gavor will help guard or sit around. He opens a book, starts looking at it. He'll sleep. Yeah, go over here. Timmy will meditate right where he was. What are you gonna do, doll? Just help?
Yep.
Okay. So they do it in shifts. You see the captain staying awake. He goes through 2 shifts. Those of you that don't need to sleep, you're just on watch. Nothing happens. Nothing happens all night. People start waking up in the morning for meditation or whatever. And paladins all get up and all that and get...
When Ren wakes up, before she comes out of the tent, she'll pull out her makeup kit and her mirror, and
Okay.
she'll brush her hair and do her makeup and
Alright,
put on perfume, and she'll do all the things, all the
Okay.
girly things, and then she'll walk out.
okay,
Cora will be out there cooking breakfast.
okay. Did Kara sleep?
She meditated.
Meditated, okay. And what about Seth?
Seth would have meditated right outside of Ren's tent.
Okay,
Keep watch.
alright. So Ren comes out, and in the morning you guys come out. Doll. He didn't sleep at all. Just like you.
Who didn't?
The captain.
No. Get some breakfast.
Yep.
3 for breakfast.
He eats breakfast with you. Captain does. Doll.
Nice.
He sits next to you and eats breakfast with you. Timmy's hanging out with Kara, watching what she's doing and helping her in the kitchen.
He wants to learn to cook.
Something. So morning rolls around and Pindar comes through the wall and comes back to your camp as you guys are eating breakfast, finishing up breakfast, and Just might as well leave the tents. Probably gonna need to add a few more. It's been requested by the council that this endeavor be continued by your party, your group. It has been requested by Admiral Brixer that a battalion be used to protect this lower area of the mines and to help with the cleaning out of the mines. And the council has okayed it.
Does he look irritated?
He does. So you will have some assistance.
Okay. South Alaska. What's going on?
Well, I feel sorry that you have to deal with this. I'm not sure if you're prepared for such a thing. If it's only 150 cultists, you will have enough paladins to help. Though they didn't say they would be paladins, they just allowed a battalion, so...
Hey, I'm not worried about the cultist, I'm more worried about the mage.
Well, you will have enough soldiers.
Cannon fodder.
He nods at you kind of like, yeah. Says, I'm not sure what unit they're coming from and where they're coming from, but... or what type of soldiers they will be. And the council will decide, I suppose. Or Admiral Brixer. He's the one that suggested it. Might very well be one of his battalions. Either way, you will have the manpower to overcome what is beneath. Might be pertinent for someone to ask the temple for assistance. I do believe that the museum, when they turn in the relics, will probably request for some priestesses or priests to be sent to help with the endeavor as well. I'm sure that they will be happy to do so. Unfortunately, I cannot go with you, though I requested to come. And it seems this must be something you do on your own. The Lord Ocas does see you, those of you that speak to him. He smiles.
Thank you.
I wish you all the best of luck and many lives. I will return here every morning at the same time for an update. Perhaps taking soldiers with you and sending a return messenger to allow us information every morning would be appropriate. Perhaps you will get it done with one morning passing. We will see. They will start gating them in the next hour.
We're gonna say thank you. And,
Of course. Good luck.
By Gold Star's blessing.
By Gold Star's blessing. He turns and walks out.
is Cara done cooking
When
breakfast?
he leaves, all of the paladins start, Mr. Admiral Frakes, why would he be so sorry to man? How many men? I don't know. Did you hear about the story about the one guy?
Eden will walk up to him.
Sergeant, okay.
Just listen. She won't say anything.
They're
breakfast.
talking about Admiral Brixer's battalion and how they've done questionable things in war. They have not been the best soldiers and are considered like more mercenaries than soldiers by these paladins that are talking. They don't see them as soldiers at all. They're vagabonds and cutthroats and rogues and fucking. They talk about them like they're bad news.
Got you.
And then so we're talking about what's going to happen with us. Well, maybe they'll reship us out. I don't want to be here with them. And I was like, fuck that. We should be in charge with them. In charge, from one of them says. I mean, if anything, we could fucking find out what's going on or what's happening with. If we had control. You hear the captain go, belay that. Quiet down. And they all stop.
She's just eating her breakfast.
Listening.
Are there any gemstones in those chests?
Were there what?
Any gemstones in those chests?
No.
when we went through it?
Mm-mm.
Eden will walk up to Kara and say, I'm about to throw up my divine protection and say morning prayers. Would you like to join me?
Yes, ma'am. Appreciate it.
She's gonna go kneel, throw up her divine protection around her 10 feet,
Okay.
say her morning prayers.
Where do you go do that?
Against the far wall where she did it last time.
Okay, way down there?
Yep.
She's gonna walk way down there, so. Yeah. Long way away.
Mm-hmm. That girl over there that can't be seen by Gold Star.
All the way down there. I'm gonna say you're down there.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Just do morning prayers.
You and Cara are down there right now. Yeah.
You just say we're down there, that's fine.
Yeah,
No
I'll
worries.
just get you right here. She's got a hangover. She's coming for coffee, looking for coffee, wandering around. Where's the coffee? Where's the coffee? You see Timmy like, oh, it's over here. Here, I can make you a cup. I think I know how to do this, he says. She goes, oh, please tell me.
Strong coffee.
She's like, just make sure it's got, you can hold a spoon up in it. Yeah, something. Ow, that's too loud. That's too loud. She says, and you hear one of the soldiers moving and his armor's clanking. She's like, it's too loud. Soldiers all seem to be fine. None of them. You know, if they got drunk at all, it's not noticeable. Captain has them guarding the circle this morning when you guys get up. The rest of you.
So I guess we're just waiting on Admiral
So-
Brickshire's battalion.
Yeah, about 9 a.m. a gate opens over on the other side of this wall, and Admiral Pendar is there with Elis, and he drops the wall and allows them to come marching through from a gate, from
Okay.
a portal, and they start marching in here just all over the top
And
side.
who is it?
Who is what?
Pendar and who?
Elis.
Elis.
Okay.
They march and cover this whole area up here.
Oh boy.
There's about 1,000 paladins. A lot. And they all, or not paladins, sorry, soldiers, not paladins, soldiers. And they cover that whole area up there on top of you guys. They don't look like paladins. They look like bounty hunters and rogues and thieves and fighters and various types of individuals. Kind of a mosh posh of individuals. They aren't wearing military equipment. They're not, they look like a press gang. They look like the guys that were press ganging In the city, that's what they look like. They look like they were hired to make militia.
Yep.
Ren just kind of mumbles, "Oh boy." Real quiet.
Gavor says, I am not sure if I trust this Admiral Brixer.
Nope.
I don't think I trust him either.
Well, it seems he has a bunch of cutthroats
Yeah.
right here to silence us. If he is behind this, then we are doomed. He turns and walks over to Pindar.
That's what Ren was about to do. Walk over to Pendar and Elis.
Okay.
She's gonna walk with Gabor,
All right.
just as concerned looking
Alright.
as he is. No, you
Pindar's
can't
like-
tell on her face.
Pindar's like, yes. Your men.
Are they out of range of where the men can hear them?
Yeah.
So,
Edith says, this is of two sides of one coin, dear. They could be very dangerous to you.
yeah.
Or they could be controlled. We give you the option of this coin toss. It's a gamble. Perhaps one you should speak with the rest of your party about, but if they could be won over, or, say, made to be wealthy beyond their dreams, perhaps they would serve.
Okay.
Pinto says, I disagree with this strongly. My dear, you could be the one that is ravaged. Along with your other friends. If you deny this request, we will take them back with us. It will not look good with the Admiral.
Let me talk to the group.
He nods at you.
She'll turn back with her back away from them. She'll walk back to the group.
As she starts walking back to the group, Gavor goes with you. Did not have to say a word. Excellent.
She'll walk up to the group.
So we're getting rid of them, right?
Hold on.
She'll walk up to the group and start talking to them and say,
Okay, guys. So I want to know what you guys think about this, because if Admiral Brixer is against us, then this could turn volatile really fast, and we
See the
don't.
paladins kind of come and start
listening.
gathering around everyone and listening.
We don't really know if they're actually on our side or not.
And using her sleight, I can roll it. She's going to reach into her pocket
Okay.
and touch that orb.
Okay.
Want me to roll my sleight?
Yes.
No, she missed it. So she
Okay.
just reaches into her pocket.
Alright.
It looks like she's looking for something, I guess.
All right. She
She's gonna
feels
touch the orb.
All right.
Eden does still have her protection from evil up. I don't know if they're back up there by then or not, but
They come walking up. Yeah, they're back. They're back here. We'll put you guys back here now.
her protection from evil is up. So
Okay. Well, so are theirs around you. So it's
okay.
yeah.
So she'll grab the orb in her pocket.
Okay. You connect with it, and you feel like something tries to look at you, but can't see you, can't find you. And you realize you have 3 questions that you can ask this thing a day about anything in the South, and it'll give you a detailed description and answer.
That's what I thought.
And your whole, you're touching it. Like I said, something tries to look at you, but
It can't.
it doesn't seem to be able to see you. So you needed help with what? Divorce. That's what Timmy says. You need help with what? Deciding what? And Gavor says, well, whether to keep these individuals or not.
Are they yes or no questions?
No, they're detailed questions, detailed answers.
She's gonna telepathy Gavor and tell him I'm going to ask a question of this orb about this situation.
Very well.
I just don't want them all to know what I'm doing. Not our group, but the rest of them.
So we are not sure if they are commandable or if they are someone that is completely and utterly in league with Admiral Vexer, which we do not trust as a whole, I believe.
Kara asked, those are from Admiral Rixer?
Yes.
I don't want them.
So she is in agreement with not wanting them. The choice is to try to command them or let them go. If we let them go, it will insult Admiral Brixer, and the Council will be concerned as to why we didn't request help. But as Tendar himself said, we can ask help from the temple, perhaps.
I'm okay with that.
We already have paladins in our circus that are part of this now. Before says, you hear her go, and a dwarf. Yes, and you, kid. She smiles.
A great dwarf.
Well, I'm ready to kick their ass if you need me. I mean, she kind of looks over at the guys all standing over there. She goes, not those guys. I think we should get rid of those guys. I mean, anything down there, you know, cultists. I'll bash some cultists. Those guys over there, they look a little
Sketchy?
sketchy, yeah, rough.
So that's like, how would we command them?
So the question is, and okay, so I'm gonna ask you if I can roll under my intelligence for if this is a good way to get the answer that I'm wanting. Is that allowed for this question with divination? Am I allowed to ask that?
No.
No.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Nice try.
Okay. All right. Is this militia intended to hurt or impede any of us, and how?
Yes, to kill you all is the answer.
Her face might go a little white.
Okay.
You guys, we can't trust him. We can't trust him.
Told you. That's Ringe. I told you.
She'll say,
You mean Kara?
Kara, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, sweetie. You're right.
I was told that they intend to kill all of us. Now, whether, I don't know why that seems... Can divinations lie?
I've never known him to.
So, Pindar comes walking up.
She'll take her hand out of her pocket.
Elis behind him. So have you made your decision, Commander? Or should I say commanders? Elis just looks at you.
Seth has his hands one on each sword.
Okay.
He doesn't like what's going on with Sis.
Pindar says, as you said once before, perhaps this is a test. And he looks at you and you see Elis kind of glare at him and then look back at you. Sometimes you must know your limitations. and you must take or choose a side.
Seth, before she gets a chance to speak, Seth actually says, "Didn't you mention we could get help from the temple?
That I did.
How would we go about doing that?"
Well, Elis, we could easily take care of that within the next few moments, could we not? Elis says, yes, probably would only take 10-15 minutes.
Could we get more than just clergy?
You know, the church is quite often hiring others to do jobs for them, specifically paladins,
Really?
of course.
You had something to say, sis? Are you okay? You don't look so okay.
She's totally composed herself at this point. I hope.
Yeah, I don't trust them.
I don't either.
We're way outnumbered, and what if they decide to revolt?
I'll kill them all. Let Glistenius sort them out.
Gavor says in the mix of the telepathy in your head, Bodhi, he's like, yes, but there are some of us that would be easily squished like grapes that you must think of.
Well, you can stand in the back and watch.
Well, or stand in the back and be overwhelmed by the sheer numbers and squish like a grape.
So let's take about. How many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Kit would be 9, which would be an odd number. Let's take about. My boats no.
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 Kara, no.
Gavor, no. Timmy, no.
That's already majority rules. So she'll look up and say, majority rules, the answer's no to these guys.
We'll take help from the church, but these guys, and I'm going to be honest with you, and this is Kara, by the way. Kara says, I don't trust that admiral. Too many things have been said that are not right with him.
Pindar says, good on you.
And he
I think
was-
they all should be questioned because we don't know who it is exactly.
And he was behaving strangely when he was down here.
Indeed.
He was.
He turns and walks away, leaving Elis there, and Elis he goes up towards the men and he's, men, this way, and starts marching them back out. Elis kind of standing there, he's like, so, I think you made a good choice.
Kara just says, praise Gold Star.
You have chosen a side now, though, because it's not so much about who's behind things as where's the solid proof, because the politics involved are so very intricate. Admiral Vrixer has been in charge of a lot of the wealth and finances of Queensland for a long time. Takes a lot of money to do certain things. When the coffers were open for war, there was not as much there as should have been, I can say that. Is that an issue? No. We have enough money to do it just by one of us paying for it. That is not the point, however. The point is, something is going on. And we have our suspicions, each of us, but we have no proof. That requires bait on a hook. And it seems you've already brought one out that I am for sure is behind what has happened. And I think you know within your guts who that is. The worst kind of snake, the kind that will just sit and be the most wonderful individual you've ever met, and then the moment you turn your back, strikes you. Yes, I believe this man to be capable of such things. Though, The only proof I have is what I have seen recently, and it is not proof for the council, but it is enough for me. Well done. We know Vrixer's behind all of this. Question is, who is with him? I do believe they will start to move their pieces now. I dare say whatever awaits you down there will not be the same thing that is there right now. The quicker you enter, the more intel you will gain and the more you will accomplish. The longer we wait, the more they will have left and cleared whatever they are doing. And if it is truly bringing the son of him back, well, I don't want to be responsible for missing that and stopping it. Imagine that a paladin's name would be written in history just as boldly as that of a witch to accomplish something like this. This is beyond you, but perhaps made just for you. There is a divinity stone beneath you. You're standing on it. There is a labyrinth created from an unfathomably huge divinity stone in the form of nature itself. And it has been tainted. For what reason, we need to know. There will be a center somewhere, and I believe it is where you were. The gemstone. That will be the focus point of whatever it is they are attempting to do. It is like a nature stone or a divinity stone or arcanite stone. Its energy comes from the tip, the focus. The largest stone you found perhaps holds the answer to that. Dark druidic magic awaits you beneath. And it is said that those from the lower planes and their ilk are immune to it, completely and utterly. Which would mean that if they are attempting to bring him back, they are attempting to control him. We would not sign our name to any contracts, I'm sure. None of you want to be dealing with the lower planes. But perhaps to fight this, we must find someone who is. Someone willing.
You mean like a warlock?
That is exactly what I mean. Someone that could protect you with their form of magic.
Do you know such an individual that you would trust?
Well, that is the question, isn't it? Can they be trusted? I hear the Lord of Cats has many different kinds of followers. Perhaps there is one amongst his people that possess such powers that might assist you. I could find one, but I do not believe they can be trusted. Not in the way that you are requesting, but perhaps you can find one.
Possibly. Will Pendar be coming back?
He kind of looks over his shoulder and you see Pindar's marching them back through the portal. And it's taking a little while, you know, when he's looking over your direction. Just
She'll tele. She's not gonna walk over there, but she'll telepathy him.
okay.
And say, Pendar, you're a paladin of the Cat Lord, correct?
I am Polar Cat. Yes.
Do you know if the Cat Lord has warlocks?
He kind of narrows his eyes. Yes, he does.
If we're dealing with dark druidic magic, the only thing that snuffs that out is lower planar magic. Now, I don't like it any more than you do, but if this individual was of the Cat Lord,
It could be smothered with goodness too, but I understand what you're saying. Though I do not want to, I will bring your request before the Lord of Cats.
thank you.
He reaches out his hand and you see the invisible wall of force come back up. It shimmers all the way to the top to the bottom and to the sides. And Elis kind of looks at you guys. He goes, I have to go. No, you're not alone. You're never alone. He turns and walks away. Roll under your wisdom.
All of us?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the first time we've heard
Yes.
That's not the first time you've heard him say that.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes.
that. Yes.
You're never alone, he said.
Wrote it.
And he leaves. That's where we're going to stop this evening.
But we made our roll.
Yeah, no.
roll.
We all had a roll.
You all made your rolls for what?
Should
You
ask.
told us to roll under our wisdom.
It was under your wisdom to remember that
Oh, gotcha.
that
gotcha.
he said that before
never
that you're
alone.
never alone. So yeah. Yeah, and when
Already
he leaves
remembered
when he
that.
leaves that's what's left
I
and
already knew that.
Pindar was going to
Okay.
go and try to get the temple
Intrigue.
to help.
Nice.
Well, that was a good session,
Thank
you guys.
you.
Thank you
That
so
was a lot of
much. Might have been shorter than last week's, just slightly, but
It's all good. It was fun.
it's all good. And the weeks before. Thank you guys for coming by. I had such a good time. We will see you guys next week. Like, subscribe, share. Hit the ding ding. There's a gift inside your God's granted me, a vision of the way to change reality. In the shadows creeping, can't rest your weary head. No time for you to sleep now, or evil it will spread. So gather all your friends and listen to my tale. Adventure stories shaping magic and the veil. Dragons, devils, demons, and creatures that I fear. And heroes of the north, just please don't be scared. The heroes are the monsters to the enemy. It all depends upon the way that you proceed. Original GM, we're here to set you Oh.